back to the hot day where I was taken out of the Hager by my brother, and we went to the nearby stream, which is, to me at that time, was very formidable, and it was located in a fairly sizable park, which was called the Neil Gordon Meeting Garden. The incident that I remember about that is that I was extremely scared when my brother took me on his shoulder and waded in the stream. I suppose it was the first exposure, at least that I can remember. And it was something that the incident has stuck with me. Going back, these two episodes, they're not going to be in chronological order because they are not from well-prepared notes, but from memory as I speak. I didn't mention that I was born on, as I was told, right at the end of the Passover, when my mother was putting away the Passover dishes in the attic, and as she was up on the ladder, she started to complain about the labor pains. And I was born on the next day, which is called Isra Chag, the next day of Pesach. As a matter of fact, Isra Chag is also called the next day of Sukkot. And I was named Yitzchak Yisrael. I don't know who I was named after. My name in Romanian is Itzik Shmuel, and I was called fondly in Hungarian Itzel. Now, going back, skipping again to my early years, an incident that I can also remember is upon a visit to my Aunt Friedel, who didn't live too far away, where I got involved with a little kitten, and I don't know what decided me to do it, but I pushed the little kitten down the well, and then I ran into the house saying that I saw a kitten in the well. But I think they all knew what I did. Nobody reprimanded me very badly, but I could tell that they suspected that I did it. The other thing that I remember offhand about the visit to Friedel, which we did very often, especially during the Sabbath day, is that they lived in a very large court, and they probably all had some common little rooms, dark rooms, on the outside of the house where they prepared certain foods or kept certain foods. And what I can remember is large vats that they had of sauerkraut, and it was always a treat to eat some of that sauerkraut. And we also used to drink some of the juice from the sauerkraut, which was called Russell. It was tasty, probably because it was salty and garlicky. Another incident I recall when I was probably about 4 years old is a visit to my grandmother's grave. It was sort of a social, as it is over here. Everybody gets together and visits the grave, then they socialize. Anyway, what I can remember about that incident is that there were apple trees in the area, and while we weren't supposed to pick apples, I think they encouraged me as a little boy to pick the apples because nobody would have anything to say to me. And I remember stuffing apples all over my pockets and in my shirt. And that's sort of a fond recollection that I think about from time to time. My brother was a shoemaker or shoe repairer, but I think he also made shoes, and earned a livelihood for us. As I said, he was 15 years my senior, so the earliest I can remember at 4 years old, he must have been there 19.